Okay, welcome to our Pilates class again. We're going to continue with our beginners course and hope you're all beginning to get kind of exercises. So we're going to start off in our usual position, sitting up at the front of the mat. So up tall in your sitting position, up really, really tall, shoulder blades back and down and your head and neck in line. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside your pelvic floor and tighten your core across the front. Breathing in to prepare, and then breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin in, roll down, one roll at a time, relaxing your arms down the outside of your legs. Breathe in to stay, and then breathing out, roll back, up, stacking your bones, one on top of the other, shoulder blades back and down, and the head and neck into line. Breathe in to prepare, keep the core held. And breathe out, lengthen and roll down. Breathe in to stay there, and then breathing out, staying up in your sitting bones, don't go behind them. Roll right up, one bone at a time. Shoulder blades back and down, and the head and neck into line. And again, really relaxing the air out as you go down. Then deep, deep breath to stretch out the backs of the lungs. And then breathing out, stack back up, one on top of the other, all the way up, shoulder blades back and down, long neck, and right back up to face forward. Breathe in for the last one. And breathe out, tuck the chin in, lengthen the back of the neck, and roll down. Big deep breath when you get down there, stretch the ribs out behind. And then breathing out, staying up in your sitting bones, stack up one on top of the other, shoulder blades back and down, and the head and neck into line. And then hands out in front, hollow your tummy and roll down onto the mat. Now from here we're going to do our Now from here, we're going to do our hip release. So rock your pelvis into neutral, breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front, keeping the ribs aligned with the pelvis. Breathe in to prepare, then breathing out, open one leg out to the side and slide it down the mat. Then breathe in, turn the leg in and slide back up. You put your hand on your hip bones to ensure they don't move. Breathing out, open the leg out to the side and slide down the mat. And breathe in, turn the leg in and slide back up. Keep the core held. Breathing out, open out to the side and lower. And then inhale, turn the leg in and back up. Two more on that side. And breath in. Last one, hold the core, don't let the pelvis move. And when you come back up and place that foot, check the core is still working, ribs still in line, breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out, open the second leg out to the side and slide down the mat. And breathe in, turn the leg in and slide back up. Keep the other knee pointing to the ceiling as you open the leg. Core switched on all the time. Breathing in as you come up, hold the core. Keep that core switched on all the time. Don't let the pelvis move. Breath in to come up. Hold the core. Last one. Breathe out, open the leg out to the side and slide down the mat. And breathe in, turning the leg in and slide back up. And back to neutral, lower the foot. Release the core. Rock your pelvis into neutral. We're going to do our imprint release followed by our hip rolls. So breathing in to prepare, make sure the spine is in neutral, and then breathe out, pull up inside for your pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front, engaging the core right from the ribs down to the pelvis. Breathe in to hold that, and then breathe out, ribs and pelvis together in the front, down into the mat, into your imprint. The tail tucks in a little bit, the ribs come down. Breathe in to hold it there, and then breathe out, back to the neutral position, but don't release the core. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, ribs and pelvis down into the floor. Breathe in to hold that, and then breathe out back to neutral. Still holding the core, keep the core well on. Breathe out, ribs and pelvis down, really right down into the mat, tip that tailbone in, keep them ribs well down. Breathe in to hold it, and breathe out back to neutral. 2 more. Breathe in to hold it, and breathe out back to neutral. Last one. Breathe in to hold it, and breathing out back to neutral. Now we're going into our hip rolls. So breathe in to prepare, breathe out, ribs and pelvis together, down through the imprint, tuck your tailbone in, clench your glutes muscle, and start to peel up one bone at a time up off the mat. Breathe in to stay when you're up there, making sure you're not overusing your back and you're using your glutes. Breathing out, hollow your tummy, ribs down first, open up the bones in your low back as you roll back down into your neutral position. Keep the core held, breathe in to prepare, breathe out down through your imprint, tuck your tailbone in, clench the glutes muscle as you peel up one bone at a time till you come up to the back of your rib cage, not up onto your shoulders. Breathe in to stay, and then breathe out, hollow that tummy, come your ribs down one bone at a time, opening up the bones in your low back, trying to feel each bone individually placing itself down onto the floor and back to neutral. Hold the core, breathing out, ribs down, tuck the tailbone in, clench the glutes muscle and roll it up. Breathe in to stay, and then breathing out, hollow out your tummy as you roll back down. Last one, breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, ribs and pelvis down through your imprint, tuck your tailbone in, and peel up. Breathe in to stay up there, and breathing out, hollow that tummy. Keep the core switched on as you roll back down to the neutral position, and release the core. Now we're going to move into our shoulders. So keep the spine in neutral, the back of the head on the mat so the face is parallel with the ceiling. If you can take out the pillow so that your head is in line, but you need to make sure that the ribs don't poke up when you do that. So when you take out the pillow, if you watch my ribs, so here's me with the pillow in and the ribs are able to stay nicely down. If I pull the pillow out and the ribs poke up, then I need to make sure that I keep the pillow in there. I have to be able to keep my face parallel to the ceiling with my ribs in line while whatever the position of the pillow. So then rock the pelvis into neutral, breathe in and out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor and tighten the core across the front. Breathing in, bring your arms up, pointing towards the ceiling. Then breathing out, reach to the ceiling and breathe in back to neutral. Keep the core held. Breathe out, reach to the ceiling and breathe in back to neutral. As you go up, and in as you come down. Last one. Keep that core switched on, lower the arms by your side, breathe in to prepare, and breathe out, slide your shoulders along the mat towards your ears, and breathe in, bring them back towards your feet. Breathing out, slide them as far as they come up towards your ears, and breathe in back towards your feet. Hold the core all the time. Keep the front of the chest wide. And the last one. And back to the middle and relax your shoulders. And that's your start position for the rest of the exercise. Core still in switched off at the moment. Rock the pelvis into neutral. Breathe in and out. Pull up inside to the pelvic floor. Tighten your core across the front. We're going to do our arm circles. So remember, don't raise your ribs. Breathing in, bring your arms up, and then breathe out, bring your arms above your head, close to your ears, and circle to your hips. So breathing in, arms up. Now think about where your arms are. Blow out as you're bringing them above your head. Keep those ribs down, and breathe in, circle to your hips. Breathing in, bring your arms up. Breathe out, blow your ribs down into the floor. And circle to your hips. Hold the core. Breathing in, arms up. Breathe out. Don't let the ribs rise. Go dissociate your arms as you bring them above your head and circle to your hips. Last one. Breathing in, arms up. Breathe out. Keep those ribs well down into the floor as you bring your arms above your head and circle to your hips. We're going to bring your arms up into the air this time. We're going to scissor them. So breathing out, open one arm up and the other down, and breathe into close. And breathe into close. Stretch out your fingers, stretch out your elbows, make your arms as straight as you can, so you feel you're working all the muscles in your arms as well. Make them really strong and really long. Breathing in to close, breathing out to open, breathing in, close. Hold the core, don't let the ribs rise. Breathing in to close, breathe out to open, breathe in to close, and lower the arms and switch off the core. We're going to move on to our head nod, so make sure the spine is in neutral, shoulders relaxed, back of the head on the mat, don't hit the top of your head, have the back of the head down, and then breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside of your pelvic floor, tighten your core across the front. Breathe in to prepare, and breathe out, lengthen the back of your neck and tuck your chin towards your neck, and breathe in back to neutral. If you don't need a pillow, you can do it without it. Breathe out, lengthen the back, tuck the chin in towards your neck, and breathe in back to neutral. You're basically giving yourself a double chin. Breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin in, bring your forehead towards your knees, and breathe in back to neutral. Don't lift the head yet, hold on to the core. Breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin in, and then breathe in back parallel to the ceiling. Hold the core, last one. Breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin in, and breathe in back to neutral. Keep your core switched on. We're going to go into our abs prep. So breathe out, lengthen the back of your neck like you're doing a head nod, tuck the chin in, and then roll up, leading your forehead, reach towards your knees. Breathe in to stay, and then breathe out, roll back down. Keep the back of the neck really long so you land down on the back of the head and the face back parallel to the ceiling. Core switched on. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin in, lean with your forehead as you roll up, reaching your hands past your legs towards your feet. Breathe in to stay, and then breathing out, roll back down, keep the back of the neck really long as you land back on the back of the head, face parallel to the ceiling. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin in and roll it up. Breathe in to stay, and then breathing out, roll back down, long neck, back down onto the mat, back to neutral. Hold the core, 2 more. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin in and roll up. Breathe in to stay. Breathe out, roll back down. Hold the core, breathe in to prepare, and breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin in and roll up. Really keep your tummy dead flat, don't let your tummy poke out. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out, roll back down to the neutral position, and relax in that position. Now from here, we're going to roll over onto our side and do our spinal rotation. So take your little pillow and roll him up into a little circle, a little sausage shape, and put him towards the back of the neck so you have somewhere to roll your head back. Bring your ear towards the front of the pillow. Get your arms out, one on top of the other, so the hands should be joined, one on top of the other, and your shoulders should be stacked one on top of the other, hips stacked one on top of the other. There should be a little gap at your waist, and there should be a little gap under your neck, so that your waist is, if your waist is dropped down on the floor, then your shoulder's too high up. If your bottom hand is too far forward, or your bottom hand may be too far back. So you must have your hands joined, your shoulders stacked, your hips stacked, and your feet back in line with your body. Rock your pelvis into neutral, breathe in and out and pull up inside for the pelvic floor, and tighten that core across the front. Breathe in, bring the arm up towards the ceiling, or lead with your rib cage as you roll back, open up the front of the chest. Breathe in to stay, and then breathe out, roll right back to join the hands. Hold on to the core. Breathe in, bring the arm up. Breathe out, lead with your ribs, not your arm, and roll right back. Breathe in to stay, to stretch out your rib cage, and breathe out, roll the whole way back to join the hands. Keep the core held. Breathing in, bring the arm up. Breathe out, roll it back, right back, right back. Breathe in to stay, and then breathe out, roll back to join the hands. Hold on to the core. Breathe in, bring your arm up towards the ceiling. Breathing out, lead with your ribs. Don't lead with the arm, lead with the ribs the whole way back. Breathe in really deeply to stretch out your rib cage. And then breathe out, roll the whole way back to join the hands. Last one, breathing in, bring the arm up. Breathe out, roll right back. Keep your head in line with your body. Breathe in to stay in a big deep stretch. And breathe out, roll the whole way back. And then release the core. Pop your hand in underneath your pillow. Put your other hand onto your hip bone, and we're going to do our climb in this position. So rock the pelvis again into neutral. Make sure you have a little gap at your waist, a gap under your neck here. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside for your pelvic floor and tighten your core across the front. Breathe in to prepare. Keeping your feet joined. Breathe out, open up the top leg. and then breathe into close. Hold the core. Breathing out, open up, and breathe into close. And when you're doing this, think about working your glutes muscle. So breathing out, open up, really work your glutes muscle, trying to turn that leg as high as you can, and breathe into close. And remember, don't roll back at the hips. So watch me, breathing out, raise the leg up, but don't roll, don't go back at the hips. Keep the hips stacked one on top of the other, and really work your glutes muscle to bring that knee up. And breathe into close. Breathing out, opening up the top leg, and breathe into close. Make sure the ribs are staying in line, that you're not overarching your back. Breathe out, open up the top leg, and breathe into close. Hold that core, keep pulled up inside and switched on. Breathing out, open up, and breathe into close. This is a good position because you can feel in here whether the core is working or not. Blow out, and breathe into close. Last one there, and blow out, and breathe into close. Now from here, we're going to sit up into our side sitting position and do our side bend. So you're going to pop your hand in the same line as your hips and the same line as your foot. You're going to pop your top leg in, so your heel is in the crook of your ankle, and you're going to rock your pelvis to get your spine into a neutral position. Then breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front to make sure the ribs are lined with the pelvis. Breathing in, arm out over your hand, and then breathe out. Your weight's going to go in your front knee, push up and over, breathe in to stay, and then breathing out to come back down again. Keep the core held, breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, push onto your knees, stretch up and over. Breathe in to stay, really stretching out your ribs, and then breathe in to close. Hold on to the core all the time. Breathe out, push up and over. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep the core held. Blow out. Breathe in to stay. And lower. All the time using good breathing technique. In through your nose and out through your pursed lips. Breathe in to stay and breathe out to lower. Back down onto the mat and we turn to the other side. So take your little pillow again. Have it rolled up in a little sausage shape so that you're going to have somewhere to roll your head back as you do the exercise. Give the pillow towards the back of the mat and you're going to have your ear towards the front of the pillow. Again, keep the shoulder well down, lots of room under your neck, shoulders stacked, hands stacked, hips stacked, feet together and back in line with your hips. Rock your pelvis to find your neutral position, then breathe in and out and pull up inside for your pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front. Breathe in, bring your arm up towards the ceiling, now lead with your ribs and breathe out, roll back, breathe in to stay, and then breathe out, roll the whole way forward. Keep the core held. Breathing in, bring your arm up towards the ceiling. Breathing out, roll back. Breathe in to stay. And then breathing out, rolling back to join the hands. Keep the core held. Breathing in, bring the arm up. Breathe out, roll right back. Breathe in to stay. And breathe out, back to join the hands again. Keep the core held. Breathing in, bring the arm up. Breathe out, blow out as you roll right back, leading with them ribs all the time. Breathing in to stay, stretch your rib cage. And breathe out, pursed lips as you roll the whole way back. Last one, breathing in, arm up. Breathe out, blow. Breathe in to stay. And breathe out, roll the whole way back. And switch off the core. Pop the hand underneath your ear again. The second hand goes to your hip. Rock your pelvis again. Make sure them ribs are lined nicely with your pelvis, always lined up. And then breathe in through your nose. And as you breathe out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor. Tighten the core across the front, pulling your flat tummy in. Breathe in to prepare. Then breathing out, open up the top leg, work your glutes. And breathe in to close. Keep the core held. Really working the glutes. And breathe in to close. Don't let the pelvis roll back. Breathing out, open up the top hip. Breathe in to close. Keep your shoulder down from your ear. Don't have it up near your ear where you're choking yourself. Breathe out, open up that top leg. And breathe in to close. Use your hand to feel if the muscle is working. Breathing out, open up the top leg, and breathe in to close. Still keeping the ribs in line with your body, and blow out, open, and breathe in, close. Keep that core pulled up and switched on, and breathe out, open up the top leg, breathing in to close. Last one. And breathe in to close, and release the core. We're going to sit up into our side sitting now, and do our side bend again. So again, hand, hip, and feet all lined up. Your top leg comes in front, and you're going to put your top hand over your knee. You rock your pelvis into a neutral position. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside of the pelvic floor. Tighten the tummy flat across the front. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out. Weight goes onto the front knee as you push up and over. Breathe in to stay, and then breathe out to lower back to the start position. Hold the core. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out onto the knee, push up and over. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep the core switched on. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, push up. Use your glutes on the bottom side to push it really, really high as you come up. Breathe in to stay, stretch out that arm, and then breathe out to lower. Try and keep the top knee pointing away. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, push up and over, really stretch it out. Tuck in that bum, stretch up the body, and breathing out to lower. Last one. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, push up and over. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Well done. Now we're going to go over and do some work on our tummy. So we're going to lie down on your tummy. You're going to take the pillow out of the way, or you can rest just your very tip of your forehead off. But best to have it out of the way. Then we're going to get yourself lined up so you have your legs nice and straight, your toes flat, and you're going to start off with your hands by your ears and your elbows out from your side, with your forehead on the mat. You're going to rock your pelvis then backwards and forwards. So when we talk about rocking your pelvis in this position, we don't mean rock it sideways, we mean rock it forwards and backwards till you get into a neutral position where your ribs are on the floor, your pubic bone is on the floor, but you have a little gap in your waist here. You're trying to keep your tummy light on the floor. So then you go, when your pelvis is in a neutral position, breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside of the pelvic floor and tighten the core across the front. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out, bring your shoulder blades down your back and raise up to look at the mat. Breathe in to stay, and then breathe out to lower. Hold the core, breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, shoulder blades down your back and raise up to look at the mat. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Don't let the belly button drop. Breathe out, shoulder blades down and raise up looking at the mat. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Listen to the breathing. Hold that core. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, shoulder blades way down your back and raise up to look at the mat. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep the core held, and bring your two hands down by your side. Forehead still resting on the mat. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, make sure that pelvic floor tabs are really tight and you've still got a gap under your waist. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out. Open up the front of your chest, bring your shoulder blades way up off the floor and raise them. Bring them towards your feet, your hands stretching towards your feet as you raise your upper body. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep that core held. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, shoulder blades back and down and raise up to look at the mat. Never see the floor above your mat. Always keep the back of the neck long. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep the core held. Breathe in to get ready. Breathe out, shoulder blades, raise them way back and down. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep that core held. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, shoulder blades back and down. Raise up the upper body. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. You shouldn't feel anything in your low back. You should only feel it behind your shoulder blades. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, shoulder blades, raise them up, way back down your back. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep the core switched on really firmly. Bring your two hands up underneath your forehead and paste your two hands to your forehead so that you're going to raise your upper body, your hands, your forehead all at the same time. So check on the pelvic floor again, make sure it's still switched on and the tabs switched on, hold your belly button off the floor or light on the floor. Breathe in to prepare, then breathe out and raise up your upper body. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Remember, don't let yourself feel it in your low back. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, raise up your upper body. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep that belly button off the floor. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, raise up, shoulder blades, come up, elbows, hands, head, the whole lot. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. 2 more. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, raise up your upper body, keep your lower body still. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. If your feet are rising, you've lost your belly button. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, raise up the upper body. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Well done. We're going to go into our shell stretch. So release your core. Bring your elbows back towards your hips. Push up onto your elbows and your knees. And sit right back onto your heels as low as you can go. Try and get your bum down onto your heels. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor and tighten the core. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out, hollow your tummy. Sit your bum down onto your heels and lift your ribs a little bit off your knees. Breathe in to stay. Then breathe out, hollow your tummy a little bit more. Sit further onto your heels as you raise your ribs a little bit more off your thighs. Breathe in to stay. Breathe out, hollow your tummy a little bit more and roll all the way up, stacking the bones in your back, one on top of the other, until you come right up to sit on your heels. Now from here, we're going to go into our hands and knees position, and we're going to start doing a little bit of work in this position. So hands under shoulders, shoulder width apart, knees under hips, hip width apart. Rock your spine into a neutral body position and tuck your toes underneath your feet. Keep your face in line with your body, and we're going to do our cat curls to begin with. So breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front to pull your belly button in towards your spine. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out, tuck your tailbone in and push your low back up towards the ceiling, your low ribs up, your middle ribs up between your shoulders, tuck your chin in towards your neck and your face comes down to look at your knees. Breathe in to stay. Then breathe out, tuck your tailbone out behind you, lower your waist down towards the floor, your low ribs down, middle ribs down between your shoulders. Bring your head and neck into line, and then bring your face up to look out in front. Keep the core held. Breathe out, tuck your tailbone in, push your waist towards the ceiling, keep the head up, waist up, low ribs up, head is still up, middle ribs up between your shoulders. Now tuck your chin towards your neck, lengthen the back of your neck, and bring your forehead towards your knees to look down towards your knees. Breathe in to stay. Breathe out, tuck your tailbone out, keep your head down. Waist goes down, your low ribs come down, your middle ribs come down. Try and open each bone individually, down between your shoulder blades, then your head and neck come into line, and your face comes up to look out in front. Keep the core held, breathe in to get ready. Breathe out, tuck your tailbone in, waist up, low ribs up, middle ribs up between the shoulder blades. Chin towards your neck, lengthen the back of your neck and look down at your knees. Breathe in to stay. Breathe out, tuck the tailbone out, keep the head down. Waist goes down, low ribs down, core is still working. Middle ribs down between the shoulder blades, chin, head and neck into line, and then the face comes up to look out in front, and bring yourself back to a neutral position. Okay, we're well loosened up, so we'll start doing some exercises now. You keep the toes tucked in, breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside to the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front, making sure that your ribs are lined with your pelvis and you don't have an arch in your back. You're going to push down through your toes now to raise your knees. So breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out, push into your toes and raise up. Just 1 inch off the floor. Breathe in to stay there, and breathe out to lower. Keep the core held. Breathe out, push into your toes and lift the knees as you come up 1 inch off the floor. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. And don't drop at the waist. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, tuck up 1 inch off the floor. Keep that belly button pulled towards your spine. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Don't let the belly button drop. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, push into your toes and raise up. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Keep the core held, really working by pushing into your toes. Breathe out, push deep into your toes and raise up 1 inch. Breathe in to stay, keep the spine in line, keep the neck in line. and breathe out to lower. Hold the core, 2 more, breathe in to get ready. Breathe out, push into your toes and lift up. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. The last one, hold that core. Breathe out, push into your toes and lift up. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out to lower. Well done. Now we're going to sit over, and we're going to start doing some work in lying. So we start in our lying position. So hands out in front, and roll down onto the mat. We're going to do our hundreds. So get your spine lined up into your neutral position. Feet lined up in crook lying. Back of the head is down the mat. Rock your pelvis into neutral. Breathe in and out to pull up inside of the pelvic floor. Tighten the core across the front. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out. Bring your ribs and pelvis deep down into the imprinted position. Breathe in, first leg to tabletop. Keep the core deep into the floor. Try and maintain your imprint as you bring your second leg up. Remember, if you have difficulty doing this, go deep into your core, lift one leg up, hold it while you get the second leg up. Breathe in to prepare, then breathe out, tuck your chin in and roll up with your forehead leading towards your knees, your chin tucked in. And breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your low back really well pressed into the floor, and breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your chin really well tucked in towards your neck, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't let your neck get strained, keep it in, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't lose the imprint, keep it really, really deep imprint, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that low back pressed into the floor, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your chin well tucked in, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then breathing in, lower the head and shoulders onto the floor. Breathe out, lower one leg down, toe, heel. Catch onto your second leg and pull yourself up to sit. So now we're going to do our half roll back. So sitting up in crook sitting, shoulder blades back and down, and your head and neck in line. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside of the pelvic floor and tighten the core across the front. Breathing in, arms out in front, and then breathe out, hollow and roll back, and breathe in forwards and reach past your legs. Breathe out, hollow and roll back, right back, leading with your belly button, and then breathe in forwards and reach past your legs. Breathe out, hollow and roll, and lead with your belly button. Remember, it has to be your tummy that leads the movement. And then breathing in forwards and reach. So don't go back with your shoulders first. If you look at me, breathing out and you're rolling back, don't let your shoulders go on ahead of it. Keep your tummy hollow, then roll it back. And then breathe in forwards and reach. Keep that core held. Breathe out, hollow and roll. Breathing into forwards and reach. Last two. And breathing in forwards. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And breathing in forward. And now roll the whole way down onto the mat. Okay, now from here, we're going to do our single leg stretch followed by our obliques. So rock your pelvis into the neutral position. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside of the pelvic floor and tighten the core across the front. Breathing in to prepare. Breathe out, bring yourself down into a really deep imprint. Breathing in, first leg to tabletop, and then breathe out, second leg to tabletop. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin towards the neck, ribs down and roll up, reach your hands to the outside of your legs. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, stretch out one leg. Breathe in to come back. Breathe out, stretch out the second leg. Breathe in to come back. Keep the deep core. Breathe out, stretch out. Try to get that leg right down to the floor. Breathe in to come back. Keep that chin in. Breathe out, stretch out. Breathe in to come back. Hold the deep core. Breathing in to come back. Breathing in to come back. Deep into the core. Breathe in to come back. Breathing out, stretch out. Breathe in to come back. Keep the chin tucked in. Fist pointing to your knees. Breathe in to come back. Keep core switched on. Two more each side. Stretch it out. Keep the chin well in. If you feel pressure in your neck, put one hand behind your head. And last one. Breathe in to come back. Breathe out, lengthen the back of the neck, lower it onto the floor. Breathe in, one leg down, toe heel, and the second leg down, toe heel. Release your core and rock your pelvis in and out of neutral. Now we're going to go on to our obliques. So the same start up, breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front. Breathe in to get ready, and then breathe out, blow the ribs right down into your imprint. So really make a hollow deep into your tummy, not just with your pelvis, but your ribs as well. Breathing in, first leg to tabletop, hold it if you need to, and breathe out, second leg to tabletop. Breathe in to prepare, breathe out, tuck your chin in, roll up, lengthening the back of the neck, and put your two hands behind your head. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, stretch up and across to the opposite knee. Breathing in to come back. Breathe out, stretch up and across. Breathe in to come back. Blow out, stretch up and across. Breathe in to come back. Keep that core. Think of your ribs coming towards your pelvis rather than your elbow to your knee. So stretch ribs towards the pelvis. Breathe in to come back. Breathe out, ribs towards pelvis. Breathe in to come back. Hold the core. Breathing out, blow out across. Breathing in to come back. Breathing in to come back. Keep your elbows wide. Breathing in to come back. Breathing out, push it up and across. Breathing in to come back. One more each side. Blow out, up and across. Breathe in to come back. Blow out, up and across. Breathing in to come back. Now breathing out, lower your head and shoulders. Breathing in, one leg down, toe heel. Catch onto your second leg and pull yourself up to sit. Now from here, we're going to do our spine twist. So we're going to sit with our legs out straight if you can. If you can't get them out straight, put a little block underneath, or cross your legs, or just sit in your crook sitting position, whatever way you're most comfortable. If you can do it with your legs straight, do. You want to have your rib cage directly above your pelvis, and you're going to rotate on your rib cage. So shoulder blades back and down, head and neck in line. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, shoulder blades back and down, and arms out, palms facing forwards. Breathe in to prepare. Breathing out, rotate as far as you can go. Breathe in, release it a little bit. Breathe out, rotate further. Breathe in, release, and breathe out, rotate further. Back to the front, shoulder blades back and down. And breathe out, rotate. Release a little, breathe out, rotate. Release a little, breathe out, rotate. Back to the front, shoulder blades back and down, head and neck in line. And breathe out, rotate. Back to the front, shoulder blades back and down, and breathe out, rotate. Back to the front, up tall, shoulder blades back and down, head and neck in line, and breathe out, rotate as far as you can go. Release just a little, don't bounce it, go further. Release just a little, and go further. Back to the front, don't let the arms drop, keep them up. And breathing out, rotate. Release and rotate, release and rotate. Back to the front, shoulder blades back and down, keep that core held. Breathe out, rotate. Now don't bounce it, don't be bouncing. Keep the arms out wide, 3 little movements. Back to the front, shoulder blades back and down, last one. Keep them out at 180 degrees, the arms. Back to the front, lower the arms and relax the body. Bend up your 2 knees, hands out in front, and you're going to hollow and roll back down onto the mat. Okay, from here now we're going to do our single leg stretch and then our double leg stretch. Our scissors and then our double leg stretch. So in crook lying, breathe in through the nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out down into your imprint. Breathing in, first leg to tabletop. Breathe out, second leg to tabletop. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, tuck your chin in and roll up, bringing your forehead towards your knees. Breathe in, stretch your 2 legs up as straight as you can get them in the air. Try and keep your quads switched on and your knee as straight as you can. Breathe in to prepare. Then hold 1 leg. Breathe out, stretch 1 leg out. 1 and 2. Breathe in, come back to the middle. Keep the chin tucked in. Breathe out, stretch out the second leg. 1 and 2. Breathe in, back to the middle. Hold the core, deep imprint. And blow out 1 and 2. Breathe in to join. Breathe out 1 and 2. Breathe in to join. Hold that core, deep into the core. Breathe out 1 and 2. Breathe in to come back. Try and keep the quad straight. Breathe out, 1 and 2. Breathe in. Breathe in. Keep that core held. 2 more. And again, blow out, 1 and 2. Breathe in to come back. Last 2. 1 and 2. Breathe in to come back. 1 and 2. Breathe in to come back. Bend the 2 knees and breathe out to lower your head and shoulders. Breathe in, 1 leg down and second leg down. Release the core. Rock the pelvis into neutral. Going to do a double leg stretch now. So just really watch for the head and neck. If you feel your head and neck are getting sore, pop your hands behind your head. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor. Tighten the core across the front. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out down into your imprint. Breathing in first leg to tabletop, and breathe out second leg to tabletop. Breathe in again. Breathe out, tuck your chin in and roll up, reaching your hands onto your knees. Breathe in to prepare. Deep imprint, chin tucked in. Breathe out, stretch out both arms and legs. Breathe in to come back. Breathe out, stretch out both arms and legs. Breathe in to come back. Hold the core. Breathe out, stretch. Breathe in to come back. Keep that core held. 2 more. Back you come. Breathe out, lower the head and shoulders. Breathe in, 1 leg down, toe, heel, and the second leg down, toe, heel. And we roll over onto our side. We do some leg work on our glutes. So in our side lying position, we're going to make ourselves really long and straight. So pop your top arm above your head. You want a straight line from your fingertips to your toes. Pop your pillow in to keep your head and neck in line. Keep your shoulders stacked one on top of the other. Your hips stacked one on top of the other. Rock your pelvis into a neutral position. And in this really important part, press that top hip away to make your top leg longer than your bottom leg so that you have got a gap in here at your waist. You've got to be able to have room for a little mouse rolling underneath your waist. Use the second hand in front for support. Breathe in, make sure the core is switched on. So breathe in and out, pull up inside for pelvic floor, tighten the core again, keep the ribs in line. Then breathe in, lift your leg up with the toe pointed. Breathe out, flatten your foot and lower. Breathe in, lift, point and stretch. Breathe out, flatten and lower. Keep the feeling in the glutes. Breathing in, lift, point and stretch. Breathing out to flatten and lower. Now if you look at me from here, I don't drop at the waist. I don't drop down at the waist. I keep that leg really long, flatten and lower. Breathing in, point and stretch. Breathe out to flatten and lower. If you're feeling it in the front of your hip, you may have rolled back and you may be able to go way up in the air. So don't do that. Keep the hips well forward. Breathing in, point and stretch. Breathing out to flatten and lower. Breathe in, point and stretch. Breathe out to flatten and lower. Hold that core. Keep it working really hard. Use the breathing and stay up in the next one. Breath in to come up. Breathe out for half a circle. Breath in for half a circle. A little bit of a circle in front. Little bit of a circle behind. Keep the core held. Breath out for half. Breath in for half. Make sure you don't roll back. Feel the glutes switching on as the leg goes behind. Last one that way. And then change the direction. Hold on to the core. Don't roll back. Make sure you still got your gap at your waist. Hold that core working all the time. Feel the glutes starting to warm up. Core held on. Last one. And lower the leg down. Then check on the pelvic floor and calves. Make sure they're still switched on. Breathe in and out and recruit them again if they're not. Then breathing in to get ready. Breathe out, lift both legs up together. Breathe in, flatten and lower. Breathe out, lift, point and stretch. Breathing in to flatten and lower. Hold the core. Last one, breathe out, lift, point and stretch. Breathe in to flatten and lower. And bend up the 2 knees. Catch your top leg with your hand. Bring your heel back towards your foot back towards your bum. And then bring your bottom leg in front and stretch that quad back a little bit to give it a good little stretch while we're in the side lying position. And now from here, we're going to roll over to the other side. And do the same exercises on the other side. Pop your pillow to the other side. Lift yourself around. Going to let your arm in above your head, pillow in between your ear and your shoulder, and let your two legs down straight and long again. Fist in front for support, shoulders stacked, hips stacked, ribs lined up with the pelvis. Push the top hip away to get that little gap into your waist again. Should be able to feel air in there. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside for the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front. Breathing in, lift, point and stretch. Breathing out to flatten and lower. Breathe in, lift, point and stretch, feel it in your glutes. Breathing out to flatten and lower. Don't let the waist drop. Hold the core all the time. Breathing in, lift, point and stretch. Breathe out to flatten and lower. Keep the ribs in line with the pelvis. Don't let the ribs poke out in front. Breathing in, point and stretch. Breathing out to flatten and lower. Hold the core. Keep the glutes switched, or the core switched on up inside. Keep that core switched on. Breathing in to lift, point and stretch. Breathing out to flatten and lower. Remember to breathe through your lips. Pursed lips. And stay up on the next one. And then breath out for half a circle and in for half a circle. Keep them glutes, feel the glutes switching on if the leg goes behind. Breath out for half, breath in for half. Really working the glutes. Don't let that leg fall. Keep the ribs in line with the pelvis all the time. And then change direction. Breath out for half a circle and breath in for half. Keep the leg really long. Don't drop at the waist. Tabs and core switched on. Breath out for half, breath in for half. Last two. Breath out for half, breath in for half, breath out and breath in. Bend up the two knees. Sorry, we'll keep the legs there. We'll do the double legs. So check on the pelvic floor and tabs again. Breathe in and out. Pull up inside for the pelvic floor and tabs. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathing out, raise the two legs up. Breathe in, flatten the feet and lower. Breathe out, lift, point and stretch. Breathing in, flatten and lower. Breathe out, lift, point and stretch. Breathe in to flatten and lower. Hold the core. Breathe out, lift, point and stretch. Breathe in, flatten and lower. Last one. And then bend up the two knees. Lift the top leg up, bring your heel towards your bum, and then bring your bottom leg in front to push the leg back. Clench your glutes muscle and give the front of your quads a good stretch. And from here, we're going to go over and do a little bit of work on our tummy. So we're going to just roll onto your tummy. And we're going to do our breaststroke. So leave your forehead on the mat, your hands by your ears, and your legs out straight. Rock your belly button up off the floor, and then breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside to the pelvic floor and tighten the core. Now you start with your face down on the floor, and you're going to use a diving motion, like if you're diving into the water, and then you're doing like the breaststroke to bring your arms back down to your hips. So breathe in to prepare, then breathe out, raise your arms and dive your two arms forwards like you're diving into the water. Then breathe in, circle your two arms right back down towards your legs, and you come up off the mat. Breathing in, dive straight down into the water, and then breathing out, circle around and come up for air. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, dive into the water, then breathe in, circle around and come up for air. Breathe out, slide your hands up along your body and dive into the water. Then breathe in, circle your arms around your hips and come up for air. Keep the core switched on. Breathe out, slide your hands up and dive in towards the water. Keep the belly button off the floor. Breathe in, circle your hands around your hips and come up for the air. It's just like if you were swimming. You blow out as you dive in. You breathe in as you circle around and come up for air. Breathe out, dive in. Breathe in, circle around and up for air. Then breathe out, dive in, and leave your arms rest above your head and lie out flat on the mat. Rock your belly button again up off the floor. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside to the pelvic floor and tighten the core. We're going to do our swimming now. So breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out, raise one arm and the opposite leg off the floor, and then breathe in to lower. Keep the core held. Breathe out, raise one arm in the opposite leg, and breathe in to lower. Breathe out, raise one arm in the opposite leg, and breathe in to lower. Try not to drop at the waist. Breathe out, raise one arm and leg, breathe in to lower. Keep the belly button pulled up off the floor. Breathe out, stretch out, make your arm and leg really, really long, and breathe in to lower. Keep the breathing going. Breathing out through pursed lips, raise the hip and the hand, breathe in to lower. Breathing out, stretch out the arm and leg, breathe in to lower. Keep the core held. Breathe out, stretch out your arm and leg, breathe in to lower. Breathe out, stretch your arm and leg, breathe in to lower. And from there, we're going to pull back into our shell stretch. So bring your elbows back towards your hips, push up onto your elbows and your knees, sit back onto your heels. And we're going to stretch out the sides. So walk your hands around to the right. Keep your head in between your elbows. Keep your bum down on your heels. Walk right around till you get a big stretch from underneath your left arm all the way down to your left pelvis. Take a couple of deep breaths to stretch that more. And we'll walk around to the other side. So you're walking your hands around to the left side this time. Keep your head in between your elbows. Keep your right hip on your heel. And then breathe deeply to stretch out your ribs. Feel it the whole way from underneath your arm all the way down to your right hip. Walk back to the center. And then breathe in and out, pull up inside to the pelvic floor and tighten the core. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, hollow out your tummy, sit back on your heels and roll up a little bit. Breathe in to stay. Breathe out, hollow and roll a little bit more. Breathe in to stay. And breathe out, roll the whole way up. Well done. So from here now, we're going to do our spine stretch forwards. So sit around into your long sitting. Again, if you need to, you can pop a little pillow or something underneath your hips. And this is a spine stretch forward, so only going to stretch the upper part of our body. So legs are straight, shoulder blades back and down, head and neck in line. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside through the pelvic floor, tighten the core across the front. Breathe in to prepare, breathe out, tuck the chin in towards your neck and roll down, staying close to your body. When your upper body has gone as low as it can, then stretch your hands out, but don't bend at the hips. Breathe in to stay there, and then breathe out to roll back up, stacking your bones one on top of the other, shoulder blades back and down, and the head and neck in line. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, tuck your chin in towards your neck, start to roll down one roll at a time, keeping your pelvis point upright. When your spine has rolled down as far as it can, then stretch your hands out, so you're stretching your entire spine without bending at the hips. Breathe in to stay, and breathe out, roll back up. Shoulder blades back and down, head and neck in line. Now from here, we're going to do the saw. So this is quite difficult, so you need to follow my lead. So bring your two legs out over the edge of the mat. Again, if you need to pop a pillow in underneath you to keep yourself up straight, but have your rib cage stacked directly above your pelvis. Up tall, shoulder blades back and down, and the head and neck in line. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside the pelvic floor and tighten the core across the front. Breathe in, bring your arms out, palms facing forwards. And then breathing out to prepare the movement. Breathe in, turn as far as you can towards one side. Breathe out, turn your back hand around and lower your front hand down to the outside of your leg, tucking your chin in as you roll down, leading with your forehead towards your knee. Breathe in, roll back up, keeping yourself facing to the side, palms facing out, and breathing out round to the front. Shoulder blades back and down, head and neck in line. Breathing in, rotate your body and rotate your back hand. Breathe out, shoulder or forehead towards your knee and the hand to the outside of the leg. Breathe in, roll back up, and breathing out around to the front. Shoulder blades back and down, head and neck in line, core switched on. Breathing in, turn around, rotate your back hand. Breathe out, tuck your chin in and roll down towards your knee. Breathe in, roll back up facing the side, and breathe in, rotate to the front. Breathing in, turn your back hand. Breathe out, tuck your chin in and roll to the outside of your knee. Breathing in to come up, And breathing out around to the front and lower your hands. And we're going to just do our oblique roll back. So lift yourself towards the front of the mat, up tall, shoulder blades back and down, head and neck in line. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, pull up inside to the pelvic floor and tighten the core. Breathing in, arms out in front, and we're going to open as we go back. So breathe out, hollow your tummy and roll back and open up. Breathe in, forwards and reach. Breathe out, hollow, roll back and open. Breathe in, forwards and reach. Next time we're going up into the air when we come up. Breathe out, hollow, roll back and open. Breathe in, forwards and reach up to the air. Breathe out, hollow, roll back and open. Breathe in, forwards and up into the air. 2 more. Breathe out, hollow, roll back and open. Breathe in, forwards and up into the air. Core switched on. Breathe out, hollow, roll back and open. Breathe in, forwards and up into the air. And hollow and roll the whole way down onto the mat. And from here, we're just going to stretch out. So bring your left knee up towards your right chest and pull it across. Try and keep your hip on the floor, and you're trying to feel a bit of a stretch into your glutes here. Really pull it across your chest. Then bend up your right knee, pop your left ankle on your right knee, turn your leg out, catch your right leg with your 2 hands, pull it towards your chest using your left elbow to push out your left knee. Then lower your right foot onto the floor, catch your left leg and stretch your hamstring up. You get a good stretch up your hamstring. Point your toe towards the ceiling and you can let the second leg down to get a better stretch. Then replace your left leg down onto the floor. Bring up your right knee towards your left shoulder, keeping your right hip on the floor. Get a good stretch into your right glutes. And pop up your left knee. Put your right ankle onto your left knee. Turn your right knee out. Take your left leg and pull it up. And give a good stretch. And then you can lower your left leg down. Right leg onto your chest and stretch up to stretch your hamstring. Catch onto that leg and pull yourself up to sit. So, well done everybody. We'll see you for the next class. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any issues with any of the exercises at any stage, just stop doing it and don't be afraid to contact the clinic and run by one of the physios if you have any problems at all. But definitely don't do any exercise at any stage that hurts you. Okay, bye.